everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For today, I thought I would just do a good old-fashioned whisper ramble and tell you guys a little bit about my trip and just like some stuff that's been going on in my life and yeah, things like that. So, I came home on Tuesday evening and I've been having kind of a hard time sleeping. I don't know if it's jet lag or if it's work, and we'll talk more about work later. But normally the way my jet lag works is I sleep a lot one night and then very little the next night, and that kind of repeats itself on a cycle for like a week. So the first night I came home, I went to sleep at 10 and woke up at 10, and that's usually what happens. I sleep for like 12 hours the first night because I'm just really tired from the traveling, and then the next night I was up until 5 a.m. and got up around 9 or 10. I think I got up at 9 because I was just awake to work, and then I was expecting to sleep for like 12 hours the next night, but no. I was up again until 5 a.m. and then the Friday I was up again until 5 a.m. and I was like, what is happening? And I wasn't even tired. Like, I got really tired around 7 p.m. every night and thought, this is the night that I fall asleep at 9 and get like a solid night's sleep. But then I was just up all night, but I wasn't really tired during the day, which is super surprising for me when I don't get at least 8 hours of sleep. So I don't really know what's going on. I spent the weekend at a friend's house and slept like 10 hours on Saturday. I slept so well. And I thought, yeah, I'm back on track with sleeping. And then last night I was up until 2 a.m. again and got up early today to work. So I don't know. I do feel it now. I feel kind of sleepy. I feel like I could fall asleep at any moment, but I try to stay awake until the evening. But I think it might be more my mind that I think too much before I go to sleep, and that has all to do with work, but I'll talk about my holiday first. So, I know I checked in with you guys when I just arrived, I think like 2 days later. So the first weekend I was there, I went to Universal, and I did ride the new Harry Potter ride, and it is incredible. Like, I heard so many people say it is the best ride in Central Florida, and I can believe it. Like, it is definitely the best ride of all the theme parks between Disney and Universal. Like, it's so good. Now, that was the ride that on the day it opened had a 10-hour queue, and I said to myself, if it takes me all day to queue, I will do it because I want to have done it. I was only going to be in Universal. Initially, I was planning 2 days, but I ended up only going for 1 day, and I knew that was a possibility, so I thought, I came here to do this ride. I'm going to do it one way or the other. But when I got there, the queue was 180 minutes, so 3 hours, and the only thing that bothered me about it is they have a single rider's queue. They don't have a fast or an express pass queue like the other Harry Potter rides didn't either for like the first 5 years or something. They just, like the express pass at Universal costs, it depends on the day, but I think on average it costs around $200 for a day, and you can't even use it on every ride. So that ride doesn't have an express pass queue, but it does have single riders. So I thought, great, I'll do the single rider queue, and I went up, and the attendant, sorry, my nose is itchy. The attendant at the start of the queue said, you just queue with everyone else, and it splits into single rider along the way. Now, the Hogwarts ride has the same thing. I know. I know a trick to get past that, but I won't say that here, but I know there's a way there. You can just skip the queue and just go straight for the single rider queue. But that's not the case is with this one. So I queued for like an hour. And then I got to another attendant. Like the queue was all the way outside, and then we had to go inside into like the fake building they built. So before we went in, I saw another attendant and I said, "Where's the single rider queue?" And she said, "Oh, right here." And I thought, are you kidding me? There was a path that I could have taken 20 minutes earlier, but there was no sign anywhere saying that that's where the single riders were. There was no sign there either. If I hadn't asked her, I would have done the whole queue. And other people heard me and were like, "Oh, is this where single riders is?" And then like joined me in the queue. But I thought, why don't you have signs up anywhere that tells you where single riders start? Because I ended up queuing for 90 minutes, which wasn't too bad, but I could have queued for like an hour if they had just put a sign up to say, "This is where a single rider queue starts." So it just like note to Universal, fix that. Like every other ride clearly tells you where to go, and this one just had no signs up, which I don't know, it just bothered me. But the ride itself is incredible. I would have done it again, but the queue had gone up to 210 minutes, and I just, even though I knew it wasn't going to be that long with single rider, I just didn't want to do the queue again, you know? Like once I was there and I had done it, I wanted to do other rides. But I definitely recommend it. It was a really, really great ride, and I can't wait to do it again. So on Sunday it was really cold. Cold for Florida, but Florida cold is colder than anywhere else. That temperature in Ireland would actually feel quite balmy, but in Florida it was cold. So I went shopping in an indoor mall, which I think the whole of Florida decided to do because it was packed. I had to park like 3 parking lots away to get to the mall. So I did a little bit of shopping, not too much actually. I don't even think I did Sephora in that mall. That would be the first time ever that I walk past a Sephora and not go in, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. Or maybe I went in, but I didn't buy anything. I only bought one thing in that mall, and I was really only there for like an hour. And then I just went back to my room and just watched TV, to be honest. Like that Sunday was a pretty calm day. I wanted to do the hot tub, but man alive, it was cold. I just thought it's gonna feel great being in it, but I'm gonna be absolutely freezing coming out, and there was nobody in it, so I just didn't think it was a good idea. So then the weekend after, I switched to a hotel in Disney and did a whole week of Disney World, and that was epic. I mean, I loved it so much. I always wanted to be that person that got up early and stayed for the fireworks shows, but I've never been that person. I've always been the person who got up at like 11, didn't go to the parks until 2 p.m., and then came back at 5, and I always enjoyed that. But this trip, I was the person that I wanted to be. I was up at 7 or 8 every day. I also went to sleep at like 11 every day. But then I did the parks. It was Thanksgiving week. It was busy. It took me way longer to do the parks than normal anyway, because there were just longer queues. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, to be honest. It wasn't excessive. So I quite enjoyed it, and I watched the fireworks show in Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, and Magic Kingdom. I just didn't get to see them in Epcot, and that was a timing issue. So, you know, I hope to do those next year, maybe. But yeah, I had a really great time there. That week, it wasn't cold, but it wasn't hot either. It was just like really nice weather to do theme parks for the entire day. There were some rides, like the Avatar ride in Animal Kingdom is really popular, and that had a queue of 265 minutes. I was like, that's almost 5 hours. Why would you queue that long? That's always the longest one. And then Slinky Dog Coaster in Hollywood Studios is always a long one. I only got to ride that on the very last day because the queue had gone down to 75 minutes. Fast passes for those rides are almost impossible to get. They sell out super fast. I mean, not sell out, they're free with Disney, but they book out super fast. So, I also got to ride the new Skyliner system in Disney that they installed. They now have gondolas that go from certain hotels to certain theme parks, and they are oodles of fun. Like, they're really great. I sometimes just rode them around because I just like them. On the last day, it was very windy, and then they got a little bit scary, but yeah, I love them. If you ever get a chance to do them, I recommend that you do. They're much faster as well than taking the bus or the monorail. They're just, yeah, they're great. So that was pretty much what I did on my trip. I will do a haul video. I'm hoping to pre-record like 4 videos today, and the haul video will be one of them. And that's another thing. So I'm only here for 5 days anymore. I leave again on Saturday to Spain, where I'm going to spend Christmas with my parents. So I'm trying to pre-record a lot this week, but stuff is happening at work that I'm not prepared for, and that I'm a little bit, most of you guys who've watched me for a while will know that I got promoted to team lead in July. And I was sharing that with another colleague, so I managed 5 people and she managed the other 5 people. Now, I knew she was going on maternity leave in January, but she was forced to go earlier. Not that there was a problem, it's just she was told to rest up for longer. So she called on Thursday and was like, today is essentially my last day. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm panicking a little bit because the end of the year is by far the busiest time for us, and I was expecting to take over the other 5. So to go from leading 5 to leading 10 people at the start of the year when it's very quiet, and I would have more time to get to know everyone and to find out what everyone's strengths and weaknesses are and things like that. And I'm obligated to do it now already. I have to have meetings with everyone and make sure everyone reaches their goals in the next 3 weeks before the year ends. And I don't know them that well. We were all one team before, but the people I lead have all been in the team for like 3 or 4 years. I knew all of them really well. The other part of the team are all new, and I haven't really worked with them that much, so I don't know them that well, and it's kind of a challenge for me to learn all of that in the next few weeks. So I'm a little bit, I think it's just going to be really, really busy for me. So today is the one day this week that I don't have calls, and I am hoping I can record a lot of videos between now, like late afternoon, and tonight, and then I just have to see when I can do it in between, like on other days. I know it's a great opportunity for me because I am developing towards becoming a manager, but I wasn't expecting to do it now. I was fully prepared for it in January. I'm not prepared for it in December, so that's really the only thing. But my manager knows it. She's very supportive, and she's equally panicking a little bit, but she's like, we'll get through it together. So hopefully that won't eat into my recording time too much. So yeah, I'm really, really trying to get a few true crime videos done. I just need to find the time to research them this week. And then I want to make a changes to my channel, so I do want to explain that as well. But that's a bit more of a serious video, so I'll do that separately. And I think that's kind of it. I think this is one of the shortest rambles I've ever done. I thought it would be longer. I thought I would have so